What was your most valuable product management professional development experience? This is what we started the week with. And the question was, and you know, Jason, after a rough spot there for a while, Jason's back and getting in there first thing, and he came out with pragmatic marketing certification. He was new to product management leadership, and the course kicked off his understanding of the role in a software company. Now we did some follow up questions. Who was that teacher, Jason?
I believe you might have heard of him. It was Steve Johnson.
I've
Ah,
heard
Steve
of him.
Johnson.
I've heard he's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I heard he's
Where was
very
this
good.
class given, Jason?
Where did I take the class? That's good. That's a good question. I think it was in
Boston?
no, I think it was either in like Raleigh or possibly even in like DC area. I
Yeah,
forget.
there was a decade there where I was doing Boston every month and Raleigh every other month and uh, the DC area like every 3 months.
Yeah.
But
So
it
Did you
was
teach
pretty
in Atlanta,
wild.
Steve? Sorry, tangenting, but did you teach in Atlanta, Steve?
I did occasionally, but after a while, we hired a guy in Atlanta,
yeah,
John
Cottrell.
Cottrell. So he
Oh, yeah.
typically did training down there.
Got it.
So I think for all of us, at least on this call, pragmatic marketing was a monumental point. Whether it's becoming the first outside instructor and the person to lead be the lead instructor and developer of the slide deck that all of us in 2008 when you guys took it, 2010 when I took it, that there's no brainer that practical product management and requirements that work. It was a great course for us. I'm gonna, let's see if I can keep doing good with this dude. The second answer we got, and it was from John. First real product management job was very eye-opening and impactful. Learning what product management actually was. Had not heard of it before. Part of that was taking pragmatic marketing. Both of you guys took it in 2008. I found that interesting. Or both of you had memories from 2008. I almost used that as a subheader, but I didn't. Number of other product managers have taken. They had the placemat. Oh, that's a typo. It should say placemat, not placement on the wall.
Stupid autocorrect. Yes, placemat.
So, John, if I remember correctly, you have a background in mechanical engineering, right?
No, I was a computer engineer turned management major at Georgia Tech.
I guess the point was you were Georgia Tech. I would have thought that a computer engineer person at Georgia Tech would have known product management.
I don't think the term was quite as popular when I was at Tech back in the early 90s. So
I guess that's true. Late 90s was when it started coming around.
yeah.
When at least I learned about it. And, Steve, let's talk about, for me, I actually learned pragmatic marketing through the framework, through anybody who took pragmatic marketing got the 37 box framework. I've, talk to me, Steve, about how that became a viral thing to help with product management professional development. I mean, it seemed like that was a lead thing that people talked about and it got more people interested in. If we're talking about the history of product management professional development.
You're talking about the placemat, right?
Yeah.
The framework. My recollection of the story is Craig Stull was my boss at at a company, and I'll do it another way. I was working with a guy named Jim Butler, who was a super technical guy. He used to be a developer. I used to be in sales, and we were kind of stepping on each other. And what was really happening was the sales were going to one of us, not getting the answer they liked, and going to the other of us to see if they could get a better answer. So we had a meeting with Craig, and he said, well, let's write down everything you're supposed to be doing. And we came up with 37 things. And Jim was more technical, so he took the technical things, and I was more sales and marketing, so I took the marketing things. And we finished this, prototype of what's now the framework. And Craig shared it with some others in the executive ranks, and it went viral within the company. I mean, everybody is going crazy over this thing because they'd never had one crisp definition of the scope of the job. And then he said, this is super popular within this company. I wonder if it's popular in other companies. And so he shared it with some more and more and more people. And finally he said, I think there's a business here.
And he started doing Publix, right?
And so the first thing he did was he started doing public seminars here in DC where he lived at the time. And I was there at the first session, took the day off from work and came and sat in the back of the room, took notes, and a bunch of, I think we had 12 people maybe in the first session. And it was pretty stellar. And a couple of years goes by and he says, dude, I'm making a living. You should come join me full time. So that's how I came to be part of Pragmatic.
I remember Craig telling a story about them laminating the placemats in their house until it got to the point where they were doing enough, they decided to make a bulk purchase. But all of a sudden now, 37 activities is the magic number. It always, no matter how it changes, it still has to be 37.
Exactly. But what was really interesting is we had a sit down with a professional marketer. We were doing I guess we were planning the first brochure. And the marketer goes, well, I'll tell you what, don't ever show anybody this chart because that's the secret sauce. That's the magic. You shouldn't be giving that shit away. And I'm like, no, I completely disagree. This is the thing that will drive people to the training class. And sure enough, I was right. So we put it as in a centerfold in the brochure, and emphasized it in everything we did, and everywhere we went we gave them out. I mean, even before I was part of Pragmatic, I had a stack of those cards that I would hand out to anybody.
No, when I was at IHS, the first time I knew Pragmatic Marketing, my head of marketing, I was a director of product, that he was a director of marketing. We had a senior vice president who came from PepsiCo, like didn't know software or B2B. And he brought me the thing and he said, let's just look at this. I'm going to give a circle on the right side and tell Ernesto that's what I do. And I'm going to circle the left side and tell Ernesto that's what you do. Are you okay with that? And then I started reading the magazine and it sort of took off from there. A mentor from another division. This is actually from Glenn Pride. He was a first time I think he's responded to the Monday question. And actually, I took Pragmatic Marketing with him when I finally took it. We were at the same company. I don't think he's talking about me either, though. A mentor from another division who befriended me. They were objective and allowed me to see the proper boundaries between other teams, which sometimes gets kind of blurry in a large company. So understanding that role, right, where the boundaries are, how you hand stuff out, really, really important thing to do.